while Minister for Home Affairs and Law K. Shanmugam recently remarked that the ruling People's Action Party always has more potential candidates for each general election than there are spaces to field them. The online community was critical of his comment, emphasizing that values and quality matter more than quantity. Some criticized PAP's trend of fielding elite candidates, questioning their commitment to serving ordinary Singaporeans and addressing pressing issues such as the widening income gap and the cost of living. There were also calls highlighting the latest PAP leadership reshuffle in opposition-held wards as evidence of the ruling party's struggle to field strong candidates, urging ministers to contest in these areas to prove their capability. Last Saturday, speaking to the media on the sidelines of a walkabout in Kutip within Netizen GRC, Shanmugam stated that the PAP had more potential candidates than available spaces for each GE, with upcoming GE 2025 to be held by November 2025. During the walkabout, Shanmugam, alongside the Netizen team, introduced Daniel Liu, who will lead PAP's Paya Lebar branch in Aljunied GRC. Shanmugam noted that he had identified Liu as a political talent years ago, but emphasized that his candidacy in the next election was not confirmed, as the decision rests with PAP's Central Executive Committee. "He's one of those that I identified, and then I sent him to Louis," said the minister. Louis Ng is the current Member of Parliament for the Netizen East Ward. "He could easily have stood earlier, but we always have more potential candidates than spaces." He explained that the 2015 hustings were too early for Liu to be considered for candidacy, and that he might have been considered for the 2020 contest. Liu is the Managing Director of urban planning consultancy Morrow Architects and Planners, as well as Executive Director of Morrow Intelligence, its data analytics division. He was previously the Assistant Secretary of PAP's Netizen East Branch, and is the son of Singapore's former Chief Planner, Liu Tai Ker. Shanmugam added that just because a new face is spotted in one area, it does not necessarily mean they will be a candidate there for an electoral contest. Whether anyone is a candidate will be decided, but they're all on the ground in different places, he said. Where they will stand will also be decided later. "You see Daniel in Yishun, it doesn't mean Daniel is going to stand in Yishun," he said of Liu's presence at the Saturday morning walkabout. Observing comments on state media platforms such as CNA, the Straits Times Facebook page, and discussion threads on Reddit, many netizens were critical of the ruling party's trend of fielding candidates from elite backgrounds, including SAF generals, doctors, and high-ranking government officials. They questioned whether these candidates genuinely serve the interests of ordinary Singaporeans or merely follow orders to gain power and influence. Some challenged Shanmugam, arguing that the ruling party should be matching each candidate's strengths to the specific needs of the constituency they are contesting in. There were strong calls for MPs and ministers with compassion, empathy, and a genuine commitment to helping lower-income and marginalized groups. Concerns were raised about the widening income gap, rising cost of living, high COE prices, foreign job competition, and frequent public transport breakdowns, with skepticism over whether the new PAP candidates would effectively address these pressing issues. A comment also contrasted full-time MPs who actively voice public concerns with those perceived as merely rubber-stamping policies. The comment accused PAP of losing credibility and integrity, referencing scandals involving former ministers, and argued that the electorate is becoming more aware. Some netizens highlighted the recent PAP leadership reshuffle in Workers' Party-held wards as a sign of the ruling party's struggle to field strong candidates capable of challenging WP leaders. They questioned whether Shanmugam's remarks suggested that PAP prioritizes quantity over quality when selecting candidates. A Redditor mocked the minister's claim that PAP has an abundance of candidates, pointing out past controversial picks such as Ivan Lim and Victor Lai. Ivan Lim, who was initially set to contest in Jurong GRC during GE 2020, withdrew after online allegations surfaced about his alleged elitist behavior and poor leadership. Meanwhile, Victor Lai contested in Aljunied GRC in both GE 2015 and GE 2020, but failed to unseat the WP team. In a recent PAP branch leadership reshuffle, PAP announced that Lai to be replaced by Dr. Adrian Ang, a director at the Facility and Environmental Management Company. Some netizens challenged PAP ministers to contest in opposition-held wards instead of placing new candidates there, arguing that leaders should prove their capability in tougher electoral battles.